Mr. Speaker, it has come to my attention that a so-called leader has made the factually inaccurate statement that black folks were better off during Jim Crow.
You see, during Jim Crow, the black family was together.
That's right.
That's an outlandish, outrageous, and out-of-pocket observation. We were not better off when a young boy named Emmett Till could be brutally murdered without consequence because of Jim Crow. We were not better off when black women could be sexually assaulted without consequence because of Jim Crow. We were not better off.
During Jim Crow, the black family was together.
That's right.
During Jim Crow,
when people could be systematically lynched without consequence because of Jim Crow. We were not better off when children could be denied a high-quality education without consequence because of Jim Crow. We were not better off when people could be denied the right to vote without consequence because of Jim Crow. How dare you make such an ignorant observation? You better check yourself before you wreck yourself. I yield back.
The legacies of Black Wall Street, it's important for people to remember because there are so many people who have no idea that there were these vital, dynamic places where African Americans were living out their vision of the American dream, aiding opportunity and hope and progress for their communities.
June 1st, 2021 marks 100 years since the Tulsa Race Massacre, when as many as 300 people were killed as an angry white mob destroyed a prosperous black neighborhood in Tulsa, Oklahoma, once known as that city's Black Wall Street. But Tulsa's story is part of a larger history of segregated prosperity in many American cities.
The term Black Wall Street really came into popularity around the turn of the century. So as Jim Crow begins to really take shape and African Americans are forced into segregated parts of the cities, these communities, rise up in places like Durham, North Carolina, and Little Rock, Arkansas, Jackson, Mississippi, and people begin to notice that there are all kinds of businesses and services that grow there, and so they kind of take on the name Black Wall Street.
you see, during Jim Crow, the black family was together.
Jim Crow was a law against black people. You weren't just talking about the era of Dwight Eisenhower and Harry Truman. You named Jim Crow. There's only one way you could deal with Jim Crow, and that's by race. I mean, look, you and I have mutual friends. People say you're a straight shooter. We may disagree on politics. I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt. But look, you were born in Brooklyn. You went down into the South, went to Florida State. You have an interracial marriage. You're the congressman of a district that's not a black district. I mean, how can you even live with yourself acting like Jim Crow was a good era or better era for blacks?
You see, during Jim Crow, the black family was together.
That's right.
Some recent comments by Florida Congressman Byron Donalds have been condemned by House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries, the Congressional Black Caucus, the chairman of the Democratic National Committee, Jamie Harrison, and the president of the NAACP, Derek Johnson, just to name a few. In those comments at an event designed to help Republican outreach to black voters in Philadelphia earlier this week, Congressman Donalds made what certainly seemed like positive comments about the Jim Crow era. And he claims his critics are missing the context of what he said. So here's the context.
I grew up with my mom. My dad and my mom, things didn't work out. As an adult, I look at my father and I say, bro, I don't know what happened, but you my father and I love you. Wow. I don't know what happened. I wasn't there. Wow. But I'm gonna tell you this: growing up, the one thing I knew I wanted to do, and this is not about my father. This is about what I wanted to do. Is I wanted to be a father to myself. Wow. And so one of the things that's actually happening in our culture, which you're now starting to see in our politics, is the reinvigoration of black families with younger black men and black women. And that is also helping to breed the revival of a black middle class in America. You see, during Jim Crow, the black family was together.
There was a time when black people really didn't have to go out of their neighborhood for anything. Yes, Pettigrew and parts of Fayetteville Street, furniture stores, theaters, restaurants, even clothing. There were just a lot of learned people in Durham who were interested in promoting black life. Of course, we didn't say black then. It was either colored or Negro and what have you. But people of color.